with tonight's match.
I'll give you tonight's lineup as soon as we see who comes on out.
The traditional shaking of the hands before the start of the match.
Excuse me, it looks like Tom Pingle is going to be the up official and Dan Brandt's going to be the down official. Let me start off with the starters for Ball State. We've got number 1 from Rockville, Maryland, a 6-foot senior, Joe Moyer. Number 2 from Racine, Wisconsin, a 6'3" sophomore, David Bayer. We have number 14 from Santos, Brazil, a 6'7" sophomore, Stefan Stamato. And number 7 from West Carrollton, Ohio, a 6'3" senior, Rod Morgan. And finishing out the lineup for the Ball State Cardinals is number 15 from Middletown, Indiana, a 6'6" senior, Kevin Furnish.
And starting for the Buckeyes, being number 6, a 6'3" sophomore, Chuck Voss. Number 7, a 6'1" senior from Shelbyville, Illinois, Rob Burton. A 6'1" sophomore from Laguna Beach, California, number 10, John Cummings. Number 12, Mike Terpstra, a 6'3" sophomore from Lima, New York. Number 13, a 6'6" senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, number David Freddy. And number 14, Elliot Weiner, a 6'3" junior from Amherst, New York.
Okay, Ball State started off serving, and Ohio State hits the shot off the top of the block. Number 12 back to serve, Mike Terpstra. I think what's going to win this match tonight is a lot of ball control, Colin.
And another good shot back to the corner. Yes, it's going to be whoever can pass the ball to the setter most consistently will.
I forgot one of the starters for Ball State University is number 9 from Lincoln, Nebraska, a 6'3" sophomore, Doug Stark. And hopefully Ohio State hasn't forgot about him, because he's going to put some balls away tonight. He's a heavy hitter. Yep. Number 2 back to serve, David Bayer for Ball State University.
Point, pass a little too tight.
Well, number 14 up there, Stefan. I mean, being at 6'9", you can't pass that ball that tight.
No.
He's going to eat it from you. Ball State leads 2-0 over the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
David Freddy with the kill out of the middle.
He's one of their key players. He's a senior leader, Colin. He does some amazing things. He's going to be a tough to stop tonight.
Rob Burton, the service error for the Buckeyes.
Stefan Stamato back to serve for the Ball State Cardinals. Nice aggressive serve, very low and fast. Big block by the Ball State Cards. I think Ohio State's going to have trouble getting around them tonight.
Doug Stark and Kevin Furnish on that block.
Scores 3-0, Ball State leads. Stefan still back to serve. David Freddy with a swing, Ball State trying to get something out of it. Here's what we talked about. Ohio State's got to control the ball, and Ball State's going to eat them alive. Let's look at the 2 quarterbacks for the teams tonight, Colin. Number 1 for Ball State, Joey Moyer. He's a 5th-year senior. He's been playing behind Chris Cooper, a former All-American at Ball State, and finally got his chance this year. He's going to do a real nice job. And for
Ohio State, it's number 6, Chuck Voss,
who's freshman. So it's
there's quite a bit of experience difference there.
Believe it or not, Chuck played for me and Arnie Ball here with the Fort Wayne Junior program with Volleyball and some of the other names around the Midwest.
Elliot Weiner with a shot off the top of the block. Looks like both teams are really going to run that middle tonight when they can pass that ball up there.
Rod Morgan with the plant. Rodney Rocket Morgan, as they like to call him. Morgan back to serve for Ball State.
Shot as high and wide by Mike Terpstra.
5-0 Ball State Cardinals. Serving in the middle of the net by Morgan.
Number 6, Chuck Voss to serve.
Chucky Voss, number 6, back to serve for the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Up middle, Ball State. I think you're right, Colin. I think we're going to see a lot of middle attack run tonight, especially by Ball State. Kevin Furnish, who should be an All-American this year, is just going to run that middle to death. And what's really terrible, we got David Freddy, Ohio State's biggest blocker, in the back row.
That last shot hit the antenna, out of bounds, point for Ball State. They're leading 6-0 at this first timeout.
Well, I think Coach Hansen has got to tell his Buckeyes it's time to wake up.
Yeah. From the early play here, it looks like Ball State's, when they're serving, they're really going to go after number 7, Rob Burton of Ohio State. So if he doesn't pass well, it's going to be a long night for the Buckeyes, or rather a short night.
Yeah.
It could go only 3 games.
Could feel like an eternity, but it could last maybe an hour and a half.
For Ball State University, number 15, Kevin Furnish.
Number 15, Kevin Furnish, back to serve for the Ball State Cardinals, who are leading 6-0 in tonight's first match of the A6 qualifier Indiana National
Through the
Bank
block.
tournament. Elliot Weiner back to serve for Ohio State.
Service error for the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes got to get something going here. A few service errors, a few hitting errors. And number 12, Mike Terpstra, puts one inside the block for a kill. Terpstra back to serve for Ohio State. Nice pass by Kevin Furnish. Could be transition by Buckeyes.
Oh. Ball State in the net.
Ball State's in the net. Point for the Buckeyes. That puts them on the scoreboard, trailing the Cardinals of Ball State 1-6.
Oh, down the front of the block. There was that good pass, and they were able to run that middle real well.
Number 2, David Bear, back to serve for Ball State. I think Buckeye needs to keep the ball away when they're serving. Keep it away from Rodney Morgan. He's one of their best passers, one of their best players. Need to keep it away from him.
See how they handle this free ball.
Transition.
Oh.
Good conversion by Ohio State.
Kept the ball alive. Got a good set and a good hit.
Ohio State starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. A little bit better ball control. And Ball State now passing. Well, that kind of shoots my theory down. Keep it away from Morgan. He just passed ones over the net.
Oh, the stuff block.
Right down by David Freddy. Point Ohio State. Kind of turn it on a little bit.
Both these teams have very tall middle blockers, and you cannot set that one ball on the net like that. Oh. Combination play, fooled the blockers on that one. Nobody was up.
Definitely a second option play. They run that middle to death, and that just leaves your outside blockers one-on-one. Put the ball away. Service error by Stamato. Gives the ball to Ohio State. David Freddy back to serve. Doug Stark with a nice pass. Kevin Furnish on the backside. When IPFW played Ball State up in Grand Rapids a month or so ago, they ran Kevin Furnish, not quite so much the quick one ball, but they ran some back behind like that and even some three balls in the middle. I think the reason for that is the new setter, Joe Moyer. Kevin Furnish is used to Chris Cooper, so they have to change up their offense a little bit.
Tip is wide. Another point for Ball State.
Ohio State decided to go back in the hole for a little bit. Number 11, Craig Gable, in for Rob Burton for Ohio State.
Yeah,
excuse me, Colin, go ahead.
I think Coach Hansen has seen just a few too many passes not get up to the setter where they can run their offense.
Exactly. Timeout by Ohio State. I think it's Ball State. I see that number 11 coming there, a new guy right into the game. I'm going to serve him right away.
That's
I
right.
think that's what Ball State did there and scored a point off of it.
That looks like their early decision to serve Burton there has really paid off for them, as they're leading 10-3 here in game number 1. Forced him to the bench, so.
I think Ohio State has a real nice clientele on their team. The young and inexperienced is going to be seen throughout this season. The patience of Pete Hansen is really going to be tested this year. Back to serve number 9, Doug Stark for Ball State, who lead game number 1, 10-3.
Back row attack off the block.
David Freddy, keep an eye on that guy. Following the first match this evening will be the Panthers, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, against the Mastodons of IPFW. Should be a very interesting match to see how the Mastodons come out their first match of the season. Big block by Furnish. Point, Ball State. Morgan still back to serve. Ball on the court. We'll have a replay.
Yeah, that last set was a little too obvious. They hadn't been running the middle too much. First good pass they got, they ran to the middle, and the blocker was up.
Number 2, David Bayer for Ball State, I think forgot to close the hole on that block and squeaked it right through. Chuck Voss back to serve for Ohio State. Backcourt attack, Doug Stark. Long. Point, Ohio State.
Attack is hit long and a point for Ohio State.
Rodney Morgan with the pass. Outside to David Bayer.
Off the block and out of bounds.
Side out to Ball State. Number 15, Kevin Furnish to serve.
Kevin Furnish back to serve for Ball State. Let's see if he goes for number 11. No, he's going for Terpstra. Joey Moore to Stefan Stamato. Outside to David Bayer. Tip. Back outside to Bayer. Nice dig, Ohio State. Here they come. Oh, nice dig by Doug Stark.
And the hit is long. That was a real good rally. Good defensive plays on each side. A couple blocks, good coverage.
Substitution for Ball State, number 10, Valentino in number 15, Kevin Furnish. And for Ohio State, number 1, Todd Brooks in the lineup for number 14, Elliot Weiner.
Number 1, Todd Brooks into the lineup to serve for the Buckeyes.
Serving for the Buckeyes, number 1, Todd Brooks.
And Brooks back to serve. Ohio State needs to get some defense going right now. Keep the Ball States down a little bit.
Good hard
serve to Morgan. Morgan passes it. You can see the ball control of Ball State over the ball control of Ohio State.
Off the antenna.
Hitting errors, serving errors. It's really killing Ohio State right now. Number 1, Joe Moyer, back to serve for Ball State Cardinals. Off the block, Mike Terpstra. A nice shot. That's an excellent shot, Colin. One that you are very famous for. Defense has no chance to play that ball. You just wipe it off their hands into the stands.
Tip and kill for David Baer. Ohio State just couldn't quite get the pancake on that one. Craig Skinner into the Ball State lineup to serve for the Cardinals, replacing David Baer.
David Freddy with the kill. They get him the ball, he's going to be unstoppable. It's really tough. When you're not passing well, it's going to be tough to get that ball to David, unless you start swinging him outside to hit.
Serve wide.
Substitution for the Cardinals. We got number 5, Kevin LaSalle, for Stefan Stamato. You're watching tonight's match on Channel 6, College Access Channel.
Ball was hit just long. Another point for the Cardinals.
Kevin LaSalle back to serve. Serves it out. Kevin, number 5 for Ball State. Notice he's a little bit shorter than most of the players out there. He comes back in there. He's got to serve the ball in. Play some tough D for Ball State. David Freddy back to serve for the Buckeyes. Nice dig by Freddy. Outside to Cummings. Nice dig. The inexperience, I think, of the setter made that a little tough to handle. Questionable call there. Ohio State's questioning up official Tom Pingle that John Cummings wiped it off of a Ball State player, not the other way around.
That's a really tough call to make.
John Shondell back to serve for Ball State. If that name sounds familiar, it is. That's Coach Don Shondell's son, freshman at Ball State.
Freddie out of the back row for another kill.
Side out to Ohio State, number 10, John Cummings to serve.
John Cummings back to serve for Ohio State.
Another service error.
Side out to Ball State.
We're looking about 4 or 5 service errors for Ohio State in game 1. That's unusual for a match, unheard of in just one game. Ball State not doing as well as they should be either.
Nice dig by Freddie.
Coach Shondell getting in some young players for the Cardinals. Mike Terpstra putting that one away.
Good movement on that serve.
Morgan out of the back row. Joey Moore hits one long. Point for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Chuck Voss back to serve. Number 8, Craig Skinner with the kill. Coach Shondell does have quite a few young players in there right now. This type of game, it's good to get those young players in there, give them some playing experience, and gives the older players, excuse me, a chance to rest.
Stamato back into the lineup.
Number 10, Bob DiDonato, back to serve for Ball State.
Good serve down the line.
Hit long by number 11, Craig Abel. It's a point for Ball State. So far in game one, we haven't seen a lot of rallies or defensive plays by, well, we've seen some defensive plays by Ball State, but overall, not a lot of defense by either team.
No, there's been very few, very real long rallies. Stamato out of the middle.
Ohio State still serving at Morgan. Even though he passed the ball bad one time, he's still passing right up there to Joey so he can run the offense. Kevin Voss to David Freddy, blocks, D'Amato straight down. It's a point, Ball State. Game point, Ball State. Joey Moore back to serve. Little lollipop, Terpstra. And planted by Gable.
Side out Ohio State. Number 12, Mike Terpstra to serve.
Mike Terpstra back to serve for Ohio State. Keeps it on Morgan.
Block was good. Another point for Ohio State.
Okay, let's go Ohio State.
Point for Ohio State.
See if we can get something going here. Terpstra back to serve. David Freddy with the overpass kill. Sometimes it doesn't have to be driven straight down. Look pretty. Just put it on the floor. The second option by Ball State.
Good coverage, good dig. Net violation.
Number 8, I believe. Craig Skinner was in the net for Ball State. Point, Ohio State. Then we have a timeout called by Coach Shondell for Ball State, who lead game one, 14-9.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Shondell has started to panic yet. He's still left some of his substitutes in there.
Ball State's playing fairly steady, and Ohio State starting to turn on, but still have been a roller coaster this first game. I think Coach Shondell's looking for them to go down the roller coaster about game point 15, excuse me.
Still serving for Ohio State University, number 12, Mike Terpstra.
Terpstra to serve again for the Buckeyes.
And he keeps it on Morgan, who passes it up there. And Stamato with the hit in the net. I think Ball State might be getting a little bit too cute these last few points, and should just play fundamental ball and win this game. It's a point by Buckeyes. David Freddy with the overpass kill. Shot is wide by John Shondell. Another point. Buckeyes, here they come.
They're going to make a game of this yet.
It's 12-14.
Very good serve.
Now they're at John Shondell in the net underneath. Point Buckeyes. Score is Ohio State 13, Ball State 14. Ooh, close. Out to Shondell. Great hustle by Chuck Voss. Oh, he's all over the court. He refuses to let it drop. Buckeyes with a hitting error. Give it to Ball State. Craig Skinner back to serve. Game
That's
point.
so disheartening when you make 3 great plays like Voss did, then
you hit the ball in the net.
hit the ball in the net.
John Cummings outside. John Shondell with a great dig. Ball State. A lot of tipping going on. Somebody's got to put the ball away. Outside to Cummings. Touch. Off the block.
Side out to the Buckeyes.
It's typical of Ball State when they do get this tight of a game, you start seeing some tips, and you need to go up there and swing it just like you did from point one. Outside to Rodney Morgan. Nice high shot off the block. What some beginning hitters don't understand, Colin, is that shot off the top of the block like that is better than that straight down shot. Your defense really hard. You can play defense that straight down shot. You just dig behind your block and you're there. One off the block can shoot off to the bleachers or the back wall.
Oh, the roll stop.
Morgan mixing it up.
Game point.
Ball State Cardinals win game 1, 15-13 over the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Well, Coach Shondell has to be happy with that first game. He got to give his starters a breather, some young guys to play, and still won the game.
Yeah, I don't think that final score really shows how much Ball State dominated that first game. They played probably the second half of that game, or maybe the last third of that game, with 2 or 3 substitutes in, and they still held their own and were able to finish out the game.
I think Coach Hansen right now has got to be telling his players that, hey, you got the momentum going towards the end of the game. Let's keep it going into the second game. There's still a chance to beat these Ball State Cardinals, and I think we're going to see a little bit tougher second game.
Okay.
We have an interview by Tony Luning, who talks about defense on the volleyball court.
Defensively, we're trying a lot of new things this year, and it's going to be a little different than the normal pattern, basic defense. And we're looking for a lot better blocking and a lot better backcourt defense out of everybody.
Back in action here at the Mastodons of IPFW, where Ball State defeated Ohio State 15-3 in game 1.
Yeah, Ohio State really has to concentrate on making their passes better this game. They're trying to run their offense by passing the ball back on the 10-foot line, and you're going to go up against Stamato and Furnish, who are 2 excellent tall blockers, and it's hard to hit around people that are that good of a blocker.
I believe if Ohio State gets their passing better, that they can utilize David Freddy a little bit more, who is the key player on the Ohio State team. It's difficult right now. Chuck Voss being a freshman setter for the Buckeyes, his set selection is not quite as good as Joey Moyer for the Ball State Cardinals.
It looks like he's got the physical tools, so his experience will really help him develop into a very good setter for this Ohio State team.
As we get ready to start game number 2. Let me remind you, after this evening's match, the Panthers of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee will take on the Mastodons of IPFW. That match starts at 8 p.m. And we're looking for that to be an exciting match also. Starting game number 2 for Ohio State is Chuck Voss, back to serve.
Looks like both teams are starting the same lineups that they started for game number 1.
Starters back in for Ball State. Chuck with a very Tough serve.
Back row attack is hit long.
Doug Stark not getting anything going for Ball State. Usually he is a very dominating hitter, and right now he's hitting everything long or wide. Stamato off of David Freddy in the back row for a side out to Ball State. Number 2, David Bayer back to serve. That was a nice shot by Stamato.
Freddie's back there smiling, saying it didn't hurt at all.
Try it again, Stefan. Oh. Ohio State in the net. Point, Ball State. Score is 1-1. Bayer back to serve. Nice pass. Doug Stark with the set.
Stuff block.
Side out to Ohio State University, number 14, Elliot Weiner to serve.
Side out goes the Buckeyes. Elliot Weiner of Ohio State back to serve. Stamato. 2 for 2 in game 2 and crushes. I haven't seen Stefan hit the ball like that in quite a while.
Oh.
Then he goes back and serves it in there. Crucial serve. When you bury a ball like that, you need to put that serve in. Ball State really attacking the middle right now.
Yeah, they're passing the ball up well, showing their good ball control.
Outside to Cummings.
Good
Nice
coverage.
Outside to Morgan, who puts it away. Side out, Ball State. Back to serve, number 9, Doug Stark. Doug is another one of those players for Ball State that had to play behind a great player to get into the starting lineup, playing behind Chris Bierman of Fort Wayne. Chris, a All-American of Ball State. Doug had to work his butt off to get there this year.
Oh, the stuff block. 3 people up for the Cardinals on that block.
Not fooling anybody with that set. Ohio State not passing well. It's tough to get anything going. You get 3 blockers on you, you know something's not right. Furnish with the straight down shot out of the middle. There's that 3 ball in the middle I talked about earlier.
It was a tough angle, but he hit it straight down.
It was a nice shot by Kevin. Stark still back to serve for the Cardinals. Outside to Freddie.
Oh, he buries one.
There's a bread and butter for Ohio State, David Freddie. Back to serve, number 7, Rob Burton. Buckeyes trail 1-4. Little miscommunication there. Mike Terpstra out of the back. Bing, little pinball action.
Oh.
Little low set to Dave. Still got to keep that ball in play. Rodney Rocket Morgan back to serve for Ball State. Nice pass by Burton outside to Cummings, who puts it away.
Great shot.
One thing Ohio State's got to capitalize on, I think, Colin, is they got Cummings outside and they got Joe Moyer for Ball State blocking him. And Joey's not as tall as the other blockers, not putting up a good wall. So they should just keep setting Cummings and let him blast away down the line like that.
Yeah. Definitely have to go after that weak blocker. But Joe showed he's not too weak on the offense there as he sneaks that second ball over.
That's what here, take that, Cummings, for hitting it by me. A little blooper by Stamato. That'll work for a point. Furnish still back to serve for Ball State.
Serve long.
Seen a lot of service errors this evening, both in game 1 and now game 2. Cummings back to serve for Ohio State. Nice pass.
Back row attack called. He must take off from behind the 3-meter line. His foot was on it, so he's called for the back row attack.
Looked good from up here, but the officials are calling. Blocked by Moyer. I guess that shortness doesn't hinder him after all. Moyer will go back to serve for Ball State, who lead game number 2, 5-2. Kill by Elliot Weiner, excuse me. Chuck Voss back to serve for Ohio State. High floater, Morgan passes it up. Burton.
David Bayer gets that ball straight down.
Ball State really attacking the middle. Outside to Burton. There's that ball control. Ball State puts it right up there. Morgan, the line shot. See the big difference between the two teams. When they get a free ball, Ball State takes it full advantage of it.
Esco replacing Burton in the Buckeye lineup. They picked on Rob again this game, and his passing picked up a little bit, but
a lift called by Ohio State. Point, Ball State. And we'll have a timeout by Coach Pete Hansen from Ohio State. Ball State leads game number 2, 7 to the Buckeyes score of 2. Colin, you've been a setter for many years, and we've seen that Ball State can pass that right up to Joey Moyer, and Ohio State's having a tough time passing up to Chuck. Which team would you rather be setting for right now?
Oh, I think Lloyd can explain that a little better. Lloyd's going to explain his role on this IPFW volleyball team for this year. We can roll that interview, please.
Basically, I'm the setter, so I call the plays, and he tells me what he wants to do, what he wants to attack on the other team, and I set the hitter that's in that position and basically try to pick apart the other team.
Good interview by Lloyd there. It's exactly what all setters need to do. They have to realize that they're not just playing with their 6 guys on the team, they're playing the other positions on the other side. They got to know 12 positions, not just 6. Elliot Weiner back to serve for Ohio State, the second option.
Rodney Morgan off the block.
Ball State having a heyday offensively against Ohio State. The inexperienced blockers of Ohio State has truly shown through tonight. Off the block, Mike Terpstra for Ohio State.
They run this multiple offense. Part of the key is to try to isolate your hitters one-on-one against the blockers. And when you're passing as well as Ball State is, you're going to get a lot more one-on-ones.
Big block. Furnish and Stark put it together. Just side out.
Tough to hit against those 2 blockers out there.
Sure is. They need to keep swinging high and tool it off the top of the block. Doug Stark back to serve for Ball State. Nice pancake play by David Bayer.
Oh.
A lift is called on the set. Point, Ball State. Score is 8-2. Ball State leading game number 2. Outside to Cummings, who hits it long. Point, Ball State. Doug Stark still to serve. Doug serving a real nice floater across the net. You can see the words Macasa as it floats across. Macasa is the ball that they will be using at the NCAAs this year.
Oh! Whoop.
Choke.
Rodney Morgan, not quite ready for that overpass. Just too good of a set for him.
Number 3, Paul Esco back to serve for Ohio State. David Bayer with a nice pass. Furnish. Let's see what that passing does for him. I think two things have to happen for Ohio State. Either the passing has to break down on Ball State, or they better start serving tougher. The two kind of complement each other.
Yeah, it's not so much serving the ball harder. They have to serve it and make that passer move a little more.
Back
Looks
to
like
serve.
they're serving right in the middle of the court all the time.
Back to serve, our own Fort Wayne, Robert Tali Talifero. Graduate from Northside High School. David Freddy back to serve for the Buckeyes. Tali with a nice pass. Furnish off the block and out.
Go off the block on bounds for number 15, Kevin Furnish. The assist for Joe Moyer. Side out, Ball State.
Furnish back to serve for the Cardinals. Backcourt attack to Freddy. Nice dig by Furnish.
Tomato off the top of the block.
There's that shot defense. Hard to play that ball. Ball State leads 10-2 over the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Out of the back again, David Freddy. Hit long. Point, Ball State.
Timeout, Ohio State.
Ohio State right now hitting a lot of balls out, passing balls left or right. I believe they better get something going here. Ball State's just going to sub those youngsters back in.
Yeah, their passing is really breaking down at this point. I don't know if it's a loss of confidence or whether Ball State's just serving that tough. I know that with every bad pass, Ball State's confidence is going to grow and they're going to go back there and serve tougher. So Ohio State's got to build some confidence or they're going to get buried real quick here.
I think Ball State came this weekend with a mission. They were beaten earlier, say a month and a half ago, by the Mastodons of IPFW in 3 straight games. I think they really want to prove something this weekend. The winner advances to the tournament in San Diego. Ball tipped wide.
Tip is wide, and a point for Ball State.
Ohio State's given Ball State at least 6 points this game by hitting out or passing out.
Service wide and substitution for Ohio State number 4, Kevin Riley into the lineup for number 10.
Number 4, Kevin Riley comes in for John Cummings. Riley will go back to serve.
Number 16, Jason.
See if he can come in and make a difference, spark this Ohio State team a little bit.
Seeing John play up in Grand Rapids, I know he can come in and do a nice job. Excuse me, Kevin. He's a nice all-around player. Touch off the block.
Side out, Ball State number 1, Joe Moyer to serve.
Joe Moyer back to serve for the Cards. Blocked. Straight down and out. Side out. Ohio State.
Player's getting a little ragged there. Trying to get cute, tip that second ball over.
Chuck Boss back to serve out of the parking lot. That's in the net.
To reserve, side out to Ball State.
Coach Shondell's going to substitute another player in.
Number 6, Chuck Ball.
Number 8, Craig Skinner comes in for David Bayer.
Craig Skinner in the lineup for number 2, David Bayer.
Here comes those young players again.
Todd Brooks is now setting for the Buckeyes.
Off the block.
Nice
Mike
hustle.
Terps. Nice
Can't
run
quite get
down
it.
by Skinner. Great hustle.
Mike Terpstra. Side out number 14, Elliott Reiner to serve.
Kill by Terpstra. He's a young and up-and-coming player for Ohio State. I think you're going to see his name quite a bit in the next few years. Elliot Weiner back to serve. Nice coverage by Joey Moyer. Stark with a roll shot.
Tali Talavera couldn't quite block that one down.
Point. Buckeyes. Weiner still back to serve. Serve is long. Stamato goes back to serve for the Ball State Cards. Substitution for Ohio State. Number 11, Craig Gibble goes back into the lineup.
Kevin Lasso in for Stephen Stamato to serve for the for the Cardinals.
With that substitution there, Colin, I think we lose about 12 inches, don't you think? Stamato at 6'9".
It's a little more than that.
Yeah, maybe. No. Call a lift on Talavero out of the net. I have to agree with that call.
It's really tough to play the ball when it comes that softly out of the net.
You have to get down really low, almost on your butt, and then pop that sucker up. Outside to Talavera. Blocked down. Doug Stark. Stark will go back to serve. Ball State leads game number 2, 12-3. Ball State winning the first game, 15-3.
13. Excuse me, Lauren. It's 15-13.
15-13. I'll get my head on.
Good choice by the Ohio State setter that time. Back row setter or back row attacker had no blockers up, and he was able to hit the ball down.
Number 3, Paul Esco back to serve for the Buckeyes. I wouldn't be surprised to see John Shondell come in for the Ball State Cardinals into the setting position for Joe Moyer. Out of the back row, Doug Stark. Kevin Riley hits one long. Back to serve, Tali Talavera. The Buckeyes look like they have given up game 2 and ready to go on to game 3. Kevin Riley says no.
Off the block and out of bounds.
David Freddy back to serve. We have Elliot Weiner back in the lineup. Tolly with a nice pass. Over the block and out of bounds. Side out, Ball State.
And a substitution, number 14, Stephen Stamato back in the line.
Stamato's coming back in for Ball State. And number 16, Jason Magnus, goes back to serve for Ball State. Another fresh face in there, freshman for Ball State. Kevin Riley hits one wide.
Yeah, he's really struggled in his last 3 hits. I don't know if he's being intimidated by the block and taking his eye off the ball or just plain missing it.
Another young one for Ohio State, sophomore. Net violation.
Ball State got a little too hungry on that and had 2 players swinging at the ball.
Buckeyes back to serve. Serve long. Just giving it to him. I don't know if they want game 2.
They need to start building for game 3 if they want to make this a match.
Moyer back to serve. Outside. Mike Terpstra. And that shot is also wide. I'm going to make a bet, Colin. I'm going to bet that John Shondell comes in and sets game 3. Terpstra, nice dig by Joey Moyer. Stark outside to Skinner with the kill and game point. Ball State wins game number 2, 15-3. Ball State won game 1, 15-13. This is a best 3 out of 5 game match. Well, right now, it looks like a lot of domination by the Ball State Cardinals. They're really fired up.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of confidence right now, and the same token, I think Ohio State's starting to hang their heads a little bit, not really concentrating on playing their game.
You're watching tonight's match on Channel 6, the College Access Channel, bringing you the best of men's volleyball throughout the country. Follow.
Here's the final point.
Doug Stark out to Skinner, who dumps it. You can see where that ball hit, right on the line.
Great power dink down the line.
Following this match, once again, we'll have the Panthers of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee versus the Mastodons of IPFW. Well, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee being the first year in the MIVA conference, the first year as a varsity sport. Past 5-6 years they've been all club, ready to make their mark in the Midwest. It's a tough way to start their season with the Mastodons of IPFW.
Come in, start the season with the number 10 ranked team in the country.
They've got their work cut out for them. And that match starts at 8 p.m. this evening.
But we've still got one more game, at least in this match.
Tomorrow night's match will be the loser of this match versus the loser of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee match versus IPFW. That's at 6, and at 8 o'clock will be the winner of this match versus the winner of the IPFW Wisconsin match.
We're happy to bring you these live events, but if you can, we'd appreciate your support here at the Mastodon.
Come out and cheer for your favorite player on the IPFW Mastodons, or the team in general. Or you could cheer for Colin and myself. We like to have our own fan support. We're about ready to start the action again on game 3. Ball State wins game 1, 15-13, and game 2, 15-3. Starting for Ball State in game 3 is number 1, Joey Moyer. Number 15, Kevin Furnish. Number 2, David Bayer. Number 8, Craig Skinner. Number 14, Stefan Stamato. And number 7, Rodney Morgan. Looks like Ball State's going to stay with the same lineup.
That looks like there's a change in the Ohio State lineup this time, as number 1, Todd Brooks, is in the lineup. Looks like he's going to be setting, replacing Chuck Voss. Rob Burton is in. David Freddy is in. John Cummings and Brant Kleinschmidt makes his first appearance.
Hit is wide by John Cummings. Point, Ball State. Looks like I lost my bet, Colin. John Shondell is not in to run the show for the Cardinals.
He may make an appearance later in this game, though.
Big block by Stamato. Point, Ball State, who lead game 3, 2-0.
Very tough serve.
Off the top of the block, Mike Terpstra.
Ball State is still serving at Rob Burton this game. He's starting to pass a little better, but
he needs to pick up that passing or the Buckeyes want to win game 3. Skinner off the block. Cummings with a tool shot outside. Gives the Buckeyes their first point in game 3. We haven't seen a lot out of John Cummings. Looks like he wants to turn it on in game 3. Make a match out of tonight.
oh. Net violation against Ball State.
Number 2, David Baer, looks like. He's got the signal from down official Dan Brandt. Morgan with the pass. D'Amato way up high over the block. Outside to Bayer.
It is long. Another point to the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes lead game 3, 3-2. I believe that's the first in tonight's match. The Buckeyes have led the Cardinals. Serve wide by Terpstra. Back to serve for Ball State is Craig Skinner.
The jump serve.
Bringing out the jump. Cummings with a miss hit. Moyer's struggling to get there. Freddie
hits the ball out of bounds.
Tip wide and point for Ball State. Craig Skinner still serving.
Skinner still back to serve for the Cardinals. And it's another jump serve. Burton passing fairly well his third game.
Cummings hits that ball out of bounds. Burton is passing these jump serves really well. They're just not capitalizing on it.
Ace, service ace by Craig Skinner coming out with that jump serve. A little confusion by the Buckeyes.
He hit that right down the middle, right where the setter's trying to come up.
Burton passing nails on that one. Nice play by Morgan. Pop it up.
Tip is long.
Linesman calls that out. Another point by the Cardinals. Coach Hansen calls timeout for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Again, Buckeyes struggling in game 3, missing their hits, their serves. It's pretty much like basketball, where you get a chance to make those free throws, and you're not doing it.
Yeah, their passing is much better at the beginning of this third game. Their hitters are just not capitalizing on it.
At the east entrance. Also, IPFW athletic wear, shirts, and other paraphernalia, and volleyball equipment.
Ball State ready to play in game 3.
LJ's Volleyball World.
Craig Skinner still back to serve for Ball State Cardinals, bringing out that jump serve this evening.
Ball State number 8, Craig Skinner.
Ball State leads 6-3. Good aggressive serve. The shot is wide. There's no touch. Point, Ball State. Well, there is a touch, excuse me.
Touch on Ball State side out to Ohio State. Number 10, John Cummings to serve.
I believe he called it on Kevin Furnish in the back row. Cummings back to serve.
Good pass
by Skinner. He's really playing tough. Morgan outside. Kill.
Number 7, Ryan Morgan. Side out to Ball State.
Craig Skinner's ready to play this game. He comes out with a jump serve. They served him that last time, and he passes it right up to the target. Only a sophomore out of Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah, he's going to help that program if he keeps playing like this.
Stefan Stamato from Brazil back to serve for Cardinal. Blocked by Furnish. Ball State point.
Even with the setter in the front row, that pass was just a little too tight for him to do anything with.
Stamato with a very low serve. Nice. Freddie says, thank you, Stefan. I'll pay you later.
He's not going to get much better set than that.
That's probably his best set all evening.
Especially a set with no blockers up.
Freddie is back to serve for Buckeyes. David Freddie out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, a 6'6" senior. He's been one of the premier players in the Midwest the past few years. And looking and scratching and everything to get the Buckeyes to kick it into high gear for the MIVA championships. David Baer with the punch. And number 2, David Baer, back to serve for the Ball State Cardinals. Baer, another young player for Ball State.
And here comes John Shondell, and he is going to set this game.
John Shondell, a freshman at Ball State, a left-handed setter, which is very beneficial if you're a setter. You should know, Colin, you're left-handed. If the ball's passed up there, you can swing away with your left arm. Makes it much easier.
Yeah, most offenses are set up to run from the right side, and to have your hitting hand to that side is really an asset.
Service ace by Rob Burton gives the Buckeyes their 4th point of game 3.
Here's the replay on that.
Furnish off of Brent Kleinschmidt. A few years ago, I remember Coach Arnie Ball recruiting Brent Kleinschmidt to come to Fort Wayne. Chose otherwise. He's one of the top players out of Ohio. Over the top. Stamato out of the back. It's blocked. Morgan out of the back. Shows Stefan how to do it. Point, Ball State. Scores now 8-4. Burton really passing well in game 3. Oh, Bayer says you're easy.
Oh.
And it's a side out Buckeyes. I believe I saw on that, but Dan Brandt's right on there. He should know.
Yeah, what we saw doesn't hold much water up here, I guess.
Furnish gets up for that one and puts it away for a side out to the Cardinals. Kevin Furnish back to serve. Kevin Furnish, there's an amazing player. Excuse me, in itself. Don Shondell takes him out of a gym class and turns him into a player like that. 2 things. Shondell must be a fantastic coach, or Kevin Furnish is one of the best athletes around.
Here's a replay of that last hit by Ohio State.
Set outside. Cummings puts it away.
Ball State crossing the center line underneath the net.
Ball State goes underneath the center line for a point to the Buckeyes. When your foot goes underneath, it must go all the way over the line. If any of it remains on the line, you're still good.
John Shondell setting Stephen Stamato on that for another crush out of the middle.
Shondell back to serve. Nice floater, and Burton passing well. Back to Terpstra for the kill. And side out to Ohio State.
Off the back set the kill for Ohio State. Sister Todd Brooks.
Mike Terpstra back to serve for the Buckeyes. Keeps it on Morgan. Bayer outside. Freddie.
Ohio State's starting to control that ball much better now. They're able to run their offense.
I think also right now Ohio State is putting up a nice block, making the hitters of Ball State have to do something with it. And it looks like Stefan does something with that. Gives Ohio State their 7th point. They're serving a little bit tougher now. Ball State not passing as well.
Rob Burton with the put down.
And we'll have a timeout by the Ball State Cardinals. Coach Shondell, that's like what he sees out there.
All even in game 3, 8 apiece.
I think Ball State's letting down a little bit, knowing that they're leading 2-0 in this match. Coach Shondell substituting in his backup setter. They need to get their intensity level back up. They could let Ohio State back into this match.
The Buckeyes very confident right now that they can take game 3. We're going to see a tough serve out of Terpstra back there, and Ball State not passing well.
Ohio State's starting to gain some confidence here.
And a net serve. A big no-no in the game of volleyball, don't you think, Colin?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Building momentum, score 3 points in a row. You got to get that serve in coming after a timeout.
Ball is hit long. Point, Ball State. You said it right on the nose, Colin. They had momentum going. They serve the ball out, lose the momentum. Ball State scores a point. Now they have the momentum. Freddie with the kill. Todd Brooks doing a nice job leading the Buckeyes right now.
Yeah. Came in, start this in the middle of that last game. Starting to run this offense a little better.
Kill by Morgan. We're going to have a substitution for Ball State. Number 10, Bob DiDonato, in for Stefan Stamato. Say that 5 times fast. Bob DiDonato, another sophomore out of Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. 6'6", very strong, aggressive player. And he's up at the net. Burton up high. Morgan controls the ball very nicely. Again by Roof.
Kevin Furnish with a big straight down block. Another point for the for the Cardinals.
DiDonato still to serve. Very intense play also. Terpstra out of the back. Nice dig by Skinner. Outside. We got a paintbrush hit by Morgan. It is long. Side out goes to Ball State. Excuse me, Ohio State. David Freddie back to serve.
Tough serve.
Skinner has tough time handling it.
Nice dig.
Cummings out of the back row. John Shondell back sets to David Baer. Hits it long. Point. Ohio State. Get their momentum going again. Buckeyes trail 9-10. Nice control by Cummings. Oh. There's that left-handed setter. That time it didn't work. Morgan was ready for it.
Morgan hit that roll shot and then got right in there and in position to make the block.
That's what it takes. 100% concentration all the time. Burton plants one of his own.
That time Todd Brooks got Burton one-on-one on the outside, and Burton was able to win that battle.
Burton back to serve to Morgan. We have a net violation by number 17, Brant Kleinschmidt, the junior out of James Madison High School. There's that left hand. Freddie out of the back. Easily dug to Furnish. Inside the block.
Ball went by Freddie too fast. He couldn't even react to get that one.
Rodney Morgan back to serve for Ball State, who lead game 3, 11-9.
Jump serve is long.
Number 1, Todd Brooks to serve for the Buckeyes.
Todd Brooks serving.
They fake one ball. works.
Attack kill for number 15,
Kevin saw came in for the 1 ball, faked, stayed on the ground. John Shondell sets him a 2 ball, and blockers are out of position.
Blockers were coming down when he hit it.
Straight down. There's Bob DiDonato. 6'6".
Number 8, Craig Skinner, a point for the Cardinals.
DiDonato and Skinner teaming up to make a big roof on that play.
Furnish still to serve for the Cards. Serves long.
Side out to Ohio State. Substitution for
Looks like Ball State wants more airtime.
Himself in the lineup for number 15, Kevin Furnish.
Kleinschmidt back to serve for the Buckeyes. Block, David Freddy. Gives
Another
a point
point
to the Buckeyes. He's trying everything he has. Keep the Buckeyes right in this. Outside to Skinner. Nice coverage by Bear. Sends a free ball to the Buckeyes.
David Freddy.
Boom. That's what you need to do right there. Free ball comes over. Nice free ball pass up to Todd Brooks, who runs the middle. Makes the game look very easy. Looks like Skinner underneath the net. There's a point for the Buckeyes, who tie the game up at 12-12. They got the momentum going again.
Yeah, Ball State has both of their big middles out.
Speaking of one, Stefan Stamato will come in for DiDonato, and Doug Stark back in the lineup.
They had 2 replacements there in the front row. Gave up too many points, so they're bringing them back. Good block by John Shondell that time.
John Shondell back to serve.
Off the block, David Freddy with another kill.
If you're coming tonight to this evening's match, as you come in, you will see to your left a yellow ribbon on one pillar, and on your right a red, white, and blue ribbon on another pillar. It's for the soldiers over in the Middle East. All our prayers are with them tonight. Outside to Rob Burton, who gets blocked. Gives Ball State their 13th point in game 3. Ball State leads 13-12.
If you're gonna tip, you gotta tip very high over a big block like Stamato.
Very, very high. Stamato being 6'9".
Craig Geibel in to serve for the Buckeyes.
See the Buckeyes get a little defense going. Tough serve. There's that defensive specialist. Tip for the kill over the middle.
Substitution for Ball State number 15, Kevin Furnish.
There's a replay of that last point, or last side out for the Cardinals.
That was Morgan, as we mentioned earlier, said tip high over the middle. You'll see Rodney tip right here over the middle blocker into the middle of the court. Very nice shot by Rodney. You start tipping over your outside blockers, you tend to tip it out of bounds.
Ohio State gets a side out. Back to serve is David Freddy.
Morgan outside. Off the block and out of bounds. Side out, Ball State. David Bayer back to serve for Ball State. Burton still passing well. It was a nice pass by Stefan, but where was Johnny? Doesn't matter as Morgan puts it away for a point to Ball State.
Stefan forgot where they were having their setter block that time and set it back to the wrong side. They had switched their setter to block on the weak side, and he passed it to the strong sides.
Communication helps a lot in this sport. The timeout goes to Ohio State.
Ball State leading in this game 14-12, and in the match 2-0.
Ohio State still working to win game 3. Could possibly do it if they come out strong right here. David Bayer back to serve for Ball State. Game point and match point for the Ball State Cardinals. Tough serve to Rob Burton, who's been passing well. Outside to Burton. Dig off the chest of Doug Stark. Oh, then puts it in the back court. Ball State wins game number 3, 15-12. Ball State wins game 1, 15-13. Game 2, 15-3. And game 3, 15-12.
Here's a replay of match point.
We'll see David Bayer back to serve with a good aggressive serve. Outside to Burton, who hits it. Nice dig by Stark. Give it back to him. He's been hitting long all night. Decides, hey, game point. I'm going to finish this match up. Puts it in the corner. Nice shot by Doug. Okay, get ready. At 8 p.m. we'll have the IPFW Mastodons versus the Panthers of University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. IPFW ranked 10th in the country, and University of Wisconsin, their first year in the MIV and their first year as a varsity sport. If you're all wondering what the A6 qualifier tournament is, let's have a word from Coach Arnie Ball of the Mastodons, IPFW.
What it amounts to, Greg, is that the ASICS Tiger Company, which is the major corporate sponsor for us, with our uniforms and shoes and that kind of thing, has a big tournament in San Diego at San Diego State University. And we're having 2 regional qualifiers for the winner of those 2 tournaments to go out and participate in a 6-team tournament with the University of Hawaii and San Diego State and University of California, Santa Barbara and Long Beach. And so the winner of this tournament will qualify to go out there and participate in that tournament.
Thank you, Coach Ball. The winner of this tournament is got their work cut out for them when they go out to San Diego. Quite a few teams in the top 10, Colin, and should be a very nice tournament.
That's always a very strong tournament. It'd be nice to go build some confidence and some.
Last year, both Ball State and IPFW played in this tournament. Ball State coming out a little ahead of IPFW. They tied for 6th, but game-wise, Ball State did a little bit better. I think we're going to see a definite grudge match if IPFW should win this next match and go against Ball State tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Should be a real nice match. Bringing you tonight's broadcast is former player Colin Leiter and myself, Lauren Giebert, a former player of IPFW. We're glad to be here this evening and hope that you all come out to the gym and see some real nice, top-notch volleyball.
And if you can't make it out tonight, we're glad you can join us here on Channel 6. And we will be here again tomorrow night to broadcast the consolation match starting at 6 o'clock and the championship match, which is scheduled to start at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Let's look at the recap of that last match there, Colin. Ball State coming out dominating Ohio State just by their ball control and just putting the ball away when they get a free ball. Ohio State not controlling the ball quite as well, making a lot of hitting errors, a lot of service errors, and really didn't get themselves into the match.
Now between games here, we're going to take a little break, and Channel 6 has a presentation called Winning Volleyball. We hope you enjoy it.